Hi, I'm Tom. He's Nick. This is Time Out. Welcome. He's going to get you going on Class C and Class D football, but I'm going to talk about a little bit of Class A football first because, from my understanding, Norfolk played one of the greatest high school games probably of the last decade. It's a game that Tom Olson, Norfolk's coach, said was the best game he's ever seen. I'm sure he would have said it was even better if Norfolk won.
I would imagine so.
31-21 with 6 minutes left in the game. Prep scored twice in the final 6 minutes, including the game-winning touchdown with 45 seconds to go. Norfolk still had a chance. They came back downfield. Last play of the game, you lob it up. Logan Strom already has 2 touchdowns. He's 6'8". You know he's a great player. He's a great athlete. You're taking your chances, lob it up to him, and Prep obviously knew the ball was going to him.
Exactly.
So 4 guys were defending him, and he still almost caught the ball. That's pretty impressive. Norfolk ends up losing 35-31. Nick, let's talk about Norfolk Catholic, David City, Aquinas, please.
That was a fun game to watch. Norfolk Catholic was up 14-0 after the first 2 drives of the game, but Aquinas just kept kind of pounding at Norfolk Catholic. Norfolk Catholic only had 85 yards rushing as a team, whereas Aquinas, their top 2 running backs, combined for over 200 yards in the game.
One of the things about Aquinas is they have team speed. And
yeah.
While Dylan Couts is probably the fastest player in the state, regardless of class, that team speed doesn't allow them really to get the open field. And that offense that they have is so hard to prepare for. You've got a first-hand look at Lane Napier, who now O'Neill is going to get a first-hand look at next week. What did O'Neill do?
O'Neill had a big win, 45-20 over Columbus Lakeview. O'Neill was up 17-0, middle of the first quarter. Bailey Thompson finished with 16 carries, 198 yards, and like you said, O'Neill hosts Aquinas, and I believe that's going to be one of the best games in the state, regardless of class.
Lane Napier is a player who does it all, offensively and defensively for Aquinas. Anyone like him for O'Neill that can do a little bit offensively, defensively, special teams, just he'll put his stamp on the game no matter what.
Probably the guy I just mentioned, Bailey Thompson. He's a heck of a linebacker for them, in addition to being their featured running back. Arlington Cedar Catholic really struggled a lot offensively. They switched to an unbalanced line in the second half, scored 21 points to kind of put the game away against North Platte St. Pat's. That's a better win, I think, than a lot of people realize.
Timeout, we're moving on. Battle Creek had an even better win than that, beating a traditionally solid Sutton team. Obviously, you're in the playoffs, you're a good team. They didn't just beat them, they smoked them.
35-0. Battle Creek looked like the team that won 7 games in the regular season instead of the team that, struggled a lot offensively in their 2 losses.
I want to give you 45 seconds, no more, to run through the Class D matchups last week and tell us what to look for this week. Go.
First of all, West Holt, a 32-30 win over Dundee County Stratton. That's a 12 seed over a 5.
Huge.
That puts West Holt in a rematch with Chambers, Wheeler Central, Ewing. The Renegades had a 54-12 win over Sutherland. Howells Dodge with a 48-24 win over Johnson
29 seconds.
Jaguars led 22-0 early on in that game.
I love seeing Howells Dodge win in the postseason. Way to go, Mike Spears. Way to go, Howells Dodge. The world seems right. Okay, you get 10 more seconds.
Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family with the 42-34 win. That's the first appearance for the Bulldogs in the playoffs, and they host Garden Angel Central Catholic on Wednesday.
D2 quick.
Randolph with a 28-14 win over Osmond. Drew Loberg, 3 touchdowns in the second half. Cardinals hosted defending.
Timeout. I'm going to interrupt you on that one real quick because Osmond beat Randolph during the regular season, but a big reason that Randolph didn't win that game is because Drew Loberg wasn't on the field. Obviously, Drew Loberg is a difference maker. Let's move on. O'Neill St. Mary's against Eustis Farnham. You know what? I'm going to talk about that because I was at that game.
Talk about that game.
O'Neill St. Mary's looked really sharp. Aside from giving up a touchdown after getting up 24-0, they answered that really quickly, and the touchdown came on the heels of an onside kick that kind of failed. Tony Allen called it a directional kick. Tony, that was a failed onside kick attempt, but whatever. Quick rundown of the matchups. You have 30 seconds for this. If you go any longer, I'm going to punch you in the face.
In Class D2, Bloomfield travels to Lawrence Nelson. Wynot travels to Humphrey St. Francis, and O'Neill St. Mary's at Blue Hill. In Class D1, Chambers Wheeler Central, Ewing at West Holt. Garden Angel Central Catholic at Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family.
Tri-County at Creighton.
And Florida Central Catholic at Howells Dodge.
Friday in Class C2, Hartington Cedar Catholic goes to Wilbur Claytonia. Oakland Craig is at Battle Creek. Crofton's at Valentine. And in Class C1,
Aquinas is at O'Neill.
We'll get more into that next week. Until then, for Time Out.
I'm Nick. He's
Yes,
Tom.
he is.